All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So Gray Zone Warfare released two major presentations in this current week right now regarding the future of the game and its development, and kind of gave us a glimpse of what they're trying to do. Now, I don't want to go over every single little tidbit because everybody else has done that. I'm not trying to go over the news about this necessarily. I just want to talk about it because, well, the next major update that they've already unveiled to us is their night ops focused based content, which centralizes on basically fighting in the night vision equipment, and various changes to the tasking system, which I think some of those missions will be transitioning into nighttime as well. But the reason why I wanted to do this is it's been kind of in the back burner for me because I do realize after 250 hours, my first impression video was a little on the harsher side. At the same time, we're kind of, as gamers, in a world where there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to sort of early access games, and, you know, just kind of be frankly clear, look at Tarkov being in development for as long as it has, and we're going to be playing some of that today, that it's kind of, you know, crazy to even, like, think about, right? But anyways, they unveiled that roadmap to us, as you can see on the screen here. So their next major update, Night Ops, as they're dubbing it, is due for a fall 2024 release. No exact date yet. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, night vision mechanics are going to be, you know, we're going to have nods and VGs. So like the very basic stuff too. I'm pretty sure it's going to make it into the game. It would be not a tactical shooter without some type of quad nods on there. We're gonna have flashlights, as we saw with the Night Ops demo, which you can actually go to their official YouTube channel, and I believe they also had it on their official Twitch channel as well, if you wanted to revisit the VOD and find out for yourself and come up to your own conclusions on what you saw. But it looked pretty cool. It is an early build of that update, so obviously there are certain things that are not fully fleshed out yet, but I'm assuming, you know, we're gonna get more than what they're saying they are, depending on, you know, their team. Because to kind of tie into this, we also had the CEO and creative director, Merrick, pretty much chatting for an hour and a half with people in the community and kind of filling them in. Despite his English not being the greatest, even for me, I was trying to follow along, and I kind of got fragments here and there, but it's pretty clear that they're very passionate. It's a fairly small team when you compare it to a lot of the big boys out there, but at the same time, it's like, it, you know, in some cases it might be overly ambitious, but at the same time, you know, only time will tell, because if you look at even like their roadmap, we're looking at a couple releasing in both spring and fall of 2025, got a couple more in 2026, and then spring 2027 would be the last update prior to full release. So within a 3-year span regarding this early access pre-alpha game, as we're currently in right now, that's pretty, I don't know, I wouldn't say I'm very experienced in the development side of things, but at the same time, it's like, I'm pretty sure those are just loose sign point posts as far as what they're going to be trying to do. So it's kind of nice to get some insight as far as, you know, the direction, but at the same time, like, they do say that it's not final, always subject to change. Yeah, you have to pretty much take it with a grain of salt, because these are not hard dates. That's why it's a loose statement when it comes to when the stuff is rolling out. But at the same time, it's like, maybe they could have rolled it out a certain way as well. But I guess they, you know, with their updates that they had recently after the initial early access where everything essentially broke, I think it's, you know, I think they're trying to go about it in a way that's very transparent with the community. They're seeing, you know, they don't want to make the the headlines for all the wrong reasons, and they're very aware of that. Not that they should be worried about that necessarily, but I think, you know, I think we're kind of all on the same page here where we want this game to be kind of the best they can. So yeah, it's basically Night Ops is going to be the next one coming up this year. We're going to be able to run around. I don't know what other changes will be happening besides that, but I'm assuming we'll probably get some other things besides the MP5. All I know is that my AKs need some love. As much as everybody loves running the DD Mark 14, that can't be the only gun in the game that's usable by players, especially even though the AI is cracked as heck. Of course, we can go back and forth with that. Next update for patch 0.3 is going to be their Dark Revelations, which I think this is going to be more story related, more lore related, as they mentioned in like previous media, that a lot of the game will have some, not necessarily references, but they do kind of take inspiration with like Roadside Picnic, which is a novel that I've never read into, but I think it's pretty cool because it's supposed to tie into, you know, things like Stalker and everything else as well. So that's pretty neat to see. I know they kind of give us a brief paragraph where I think we're going to be getting some weather elements as well. So yeah, weather and a little more storyline related stuff. So they're kind of fleshing it out even more in that category. And then in fall for next year, they're going to be relying on, they're calling it Elite Operator. It's a very strange, you know, title heading there, but it might be just a placeholder for now, just because it will focus on like certifications, skills. So I'm, you know, pretty sure they're not going to go the exact Tarkov route where it affects your abilities necessarily, but, you know, who's to say that it doesn't, you know. At the same time, like, you know, playing games like this, and even like previously, like say like Battlefield and Call of Duty, you want to show your progression with your weapon systems and your time with it, essentially. So I think they're going with that as a focus. Now, additionally, even though this is a focus primarily, as far as their update goes, I'm pretty sure, you know, a lot of the other things that they're trying to keep under wraps because they want everything to kind of be a surprise too, is we'll probably get some weapons along with these updates, different changes, maybe some fixes along the way as well, which I think they need to kind of just spread out, like not just to focus it on the big major updates, but if it's ready to go, obviously implement them in between like the big major updates. So I don't know, we'll see. Just gonna it's a very brief description on a lot of this stuff that you see on their various media posts there regarding the roadmap. It's very I wouldn't say it's vague, but it's very minimal. So a lot can change, even though that's kind of their theme and their focus on that particular update. So maybe we'll actually have, I think, because also with the Elite Operator update, they do say you're going to be looking at camps. They'll attract attention. So I'm assuming there might be like friendly camps, primarily smaller bases besides your big fob that you go back to, rearm, reassess everything, take more tasks in, which kind of makes sense because one of the things that I kind of notice is like Lemong's beautiful as hell, as in regarding to, say, the way it looks as a Southeast Asian country of, you know, grandeur, but the map is underutilized right now. We have our major points of interest, but like the rest of the map is pretty much, you know, it's empty in the sense of, yes, you have houses, you have trees and everything else, but there's nothing interesting to go explore there because the loot is kind of lacking, to say the least. Like, how many times have you found like food all the time, which is definitely useful, especially if you're going on those long walks. I tried it once and it was okay, but it got a little tedious. And then you know, when you have the cracked AI hiding in trees and when you aggro them, yeah, it's kind of sucks. But that's coming in fall of next year. Going into spring in 2026, looks like it's gonna be a focus on crafting, which we kind of knew was already going to be a thing because, well, much like a lot of games that kind of follow or inspired, I should say, by that sort of Tarkov formula, We're going to be able to gather crafting resources, and we're going to have crafting techniques on certain things, being able to probably obviously service our weapon, our armor, and other various things as well, it looks like. And then maybe even some of the other things that Tarkov is also rolling out through right now. It's really hard to say, but you can find these on the various medias that they have available to you, social media, or on the actual Steam page in this case that I'm reading off of. But it looks, this is pretty bare bones right now. Like, the game, as the CEO stated, that this is only 20% done, which it's pretty understandable considering the as some people would say, the jank in terms of performance, and just essentially what we're able to, we kind of have just kind of the bare bonus experience, which for the most part it's still decent, but at the same time, like, there's things that kind of hamper that fun experience to keep coming back, right? It's kind of hard to do any of those things when you know that the game isn't finished yet, or it's not polished enough to where it's serviceable. Because me, I don't think I have a low-end rig, and it's definitely older, but even I struggle trying to run this, so we know it's one of those things. Shadow Strike's gonna be more focused on stealth. Stealth kills, basically, being that sort of Solid Snake type of thing. So it's gonna be pretty cool. I think that's gonna tie into the Elite Operator update. So you'll probably have like a stealth skill or means of kind of like not triggering the AI, not triggering the natives and aggroing on you. So it might be kind of cool. I'm pretty sure we'll get some equipment that's more suited to that. Just kind of give you an idea, the MP5 SD, because I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be a technical game for them not to roll in a lot of different toys in there. It wouldn't be a complete experience if it was very limited, which that's kind of what we're at right now. And then Rising Tensions, I think they're gonna have, I saw this in a Big Fry video, but I kind of want to say it's the same as well. Like, it kind of gives me the impression of Far Cry 4 and 5, where you have little points of interest that you're going to be battling it over, and you're going to have to probably deal with the Le Mans gangs or military gangs or whatever that's there, and capture it. And it might have some type of benefit for your PMC group and everything in terms of resources, money pulled in, etc. Especially for the PvP folks, territory control, like Call of Duty's domination, team effort to control the parts of the island of Le Mans will benefit your PMC. That's the impression I get, and that's coming in spring of 2027. And then the 1.0 release for Ground Zero is supposed to be very, very high stakes. I'm assuming this is, they were talking about it being high value loot, which honestly, there should be stuff outside of that too on it, to be fair. But this is going to be, essentially a small mini, the impression I got was a small mini stalker area where it's just pure death. So it'll be interesting to see how this rolls out by that time. But yeah, it'll be really, really interesting. But yeah, they did mention that it's 20% only done, which is what we have right now in this pre-alpha. But I'm very curious to see what they go with. So, and the nice thing, I wanted to touch basis also on the presentations, because I know it's a little bit more of a, I feel like I'm tangenting it a lot, but they did mention like a lot of the issues that the game had. For me, impression wise, I felt like they acknowledged it too, as far as like just lack of loot, only certain points of interest, obviously the key spawns. We all love the key spawns currently, right? Basically, let's see, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. What I was gonna say is, essentially, a lot of my sort of quirks against the game, I wouldn't say they've addressed it, but they're aware of it. It's like, yeah, the game lacks certain things. Weapon variety is severely limited because the only thing that seems to be pretty viable is running the M4 or DD14 with a 60 round mag. And I'm like, where's the AKs? And AKs have 60 round mags too. Where's that? So that's why they're going to be wiping for Night Ops. Everything is going to be from essentially the, you know, from the beginning. You're going to have whatever edition you bought into, which is going to be pretty great. But it's just like those are one of the things that one of many things actually that need to be addressed for me to kind of recommend, you know, Gray Zone. We're not there quite yet, unfortunately, but for me to do that, performance is a big factor. I understand that I can't run it full max, but I mean, I want to maintain 60 frames. I want to not have to worry about, oh, if I get into this firefight, I'm gonna have hitching issues. I don't want to have that. Basically, I want good weapon variety. I want all the guns to feel well, like anything from 9mm all the way up to, you know, full on AK and Mosin rounds, because realistically, all the guns do have different properties. They all have different values, but they all should be able to do the job in the right circumstance. You shouldn't have to essentially fight with that necessarily. So those are a lot, I would say. Yeah, so performance, good variety of guns, or weapons rather, and aesthetics, because I know they're going to be focusing on cosmetics as well in, I think, Elite Operator as well, in the Elite Operator update in fall 2025. And I think overall just making it so that obviously we want to get back into the action as fast as possible. And I know they said during the Night Ops presentation they're going to be cutting down and updating the Little Bird extraction and infiltration process to be a lot quicker. So those main things, if they can squeeze that would be probably the easiest way to recommend this game. So that's it for this video. I kind of been stuttering and segueing and dealing with the live chat because I know a lot of you guys are talking to me already. I apologize, but that's it for this video, and I will see you guys all in that next one. Take care.